Hey, got a different kind of flight for you today because you're actually going to be with me as I try some of the settings. I'm just adjusting my temperature here. I don't know if you noticed it, but what I did was I increased the humidity and I increased the temperature. I'm actually flying down in Jamaica, I think, or St. Thomas. I'm in one of the islands down here because I thought it'd be a neat place to just check it out. So if you can read the text on the bottom, you'll see that my version of Flight Sim is 1.35.19.0. That's 1.35.19.0. That is a Sim Update 14 beta release. This is, I think, the 4th or 5th beta release now that they've given us for Sim Update 14. So some of the fixes you may not even be aware of because if you're not testing the beta, you may not experience some of them. But some of the new things, one of the new content and features is they added a completely new Cirrus SR22T G6 model with custom engine simulation and book accurate performance. They fixed a bug where the assistant settings would reset every time you launch the simulator. Again, I don't think anyone outside of us beta testers actually experienced that, but it was a pain in the butt. Automated weather report temperature reading updated, fixed a freeze when opening the logbook. So there were a couple general fixes, a couple updates to aircraft and so forth. One of them, it's now possible to slow down the simulation speed to 1/8 and 1/16 of real time. Not exactly sure why anybody would want to do that, but there you go. So yes, the Sim Update 14 beta release 1.35.19.0. You'll also notice I'm running Nvidia 546.17. 546.17. That is the latest Nvidia Game Ready driver release. I believe it was released on the 14th of November. And also you can read that I'm flying with an RTX 3070. I'm just going to turn off my sunglasses here. And as you can see, I am using the OpenXR toolkit. I have the resolution down, I think, to about 80%. So it's 1800 by 1900, and the sharpness is down to, I believe, 25% within my OpenXR toolkit. But like I said, I just turned off the sunglasses. I'm not playing with those settings too much right now. I'm really interested in more in the in-game settings. And I have a few things cranked up here. I think my clouds right now are on ultra. My buildings, trees, everything is on high. Seems to be a little bit stuttery, so I think I'm going to try turning some of these items down a little bit. Here we'll fly a little bit more and then we'll see if we want to turn anything down. And when I'm just looking forward and looking off to my angle left and right, it's not bad. It's when I turn my head like a full 90 degrees and look down, there's a little bit of stutter, but then it catches up. So again, yeah, you can see I'm high. So I'm going to put everything on medium. Clouds were on ultra, so I'm going to turn them back down to medium, and we'll see how this goes now. And it may not make much of a difference without actually reloading the flight, because, you know, when you start a flight with your clouds on ultra and everything else on high, it's already kind of loaded in. I'm going to have to fly for a little bit, kind of get out of what scenery might have already been preloaded here. So, but seems to be a little bit better, a little bit smoother. Did not see or notice much of a drop at all in my graphics quality. Still looks pretty sweet in my Quest headset. You may also notice, if you have a sharp set of eyes, that my propeller looks substantially more realistic in my headset. That is because I am using an add-on for VR propeller replacement. It replaces basically the propellers on every single aircraft that's in the game, as well as a bunch of third-party ones, to get rid of that strobe type effect that they were giving us most propellers. If you were to actually compare it to a real propeller, and if you look at some of my previous videos, you'll see what I mean. Come back to this one and compare the propellers. And this is more realistic. Really, when your propeller is going, you really don't see anything but a disc. You don't see the individual rotations like it's been. I can't resist flying down these things when I'm in my BG. I just love that thing, but the plane. Did I say BG? Yeah, anyhow. I can't resist when I see something like this, a long straight channel under the trees. And no, I do not fly with my crash turned off. If I hit something, I will crash. I do not fly with assist or anything. I fly as everything cranked up as realistic as the simulation allows. I don't fly with it in a game type mode. But yeah, I'm happy to, like I said, the reflections here, the glare that I'm getting with the bloom and the different reflections, the quality. Oh, the propeller, yes. Like I was saying. So it's a VR edition that you can get from flightsim.to. And let me check the name here so I give you the right name. VR Prop Mod Multipass. VR Prop Mod Multipass. And I'll try to remember to put a link to it in the video description down below. Let's see here. Yeah, so you can see what we're at here. We're at 82%, 25% for sharpness. I'm going to change my mode to performance from quality, and okay, I think that might help as well. Oh, and I'm also trying something different in my in-sim settings, and I have the world scale set to 90%. I don't know if that really makes much of a difference with performance yet. I haven't had long enough to try it. It does seem to help with the overall impression of the world that I'm seeing within my Quest headset. It does seem to help with it a little bit. But again, I got tested a lot more in different conditions. You know, this is sunset down in the Virgin Islands, tested out in the morning up north and out in some mountains out west and so forth. I do all that testing as many others do, so that hopefully it'll prevent you or help you to save you from having to waste time doing all the testing. Right now, I'm not too dissatisfied with it. Again, some of the changes that I made really aren't going to take much of an effect because they were preloaded. I think I have a lot of the traffic turned up as well right now. Roads, airlines, and so forth. But let's see here. Hopefully you guys will be able to see this a little bit. So yeah, so you can see I'm on 90 here for my world scale. I just don't know if that makes much of a difference or not. And I'm going to, I think, turn my level of detail down just, I think, like from 90 to 80. Just a little bit. I don't think it makes that much of a difference, actually, unless you drop it down to like 10. Yeah, yes, there's not much here that I really want to change. Maybe some of the traffic, though. I'm probably generating more traffic than I need to. And in here, most of this is still the same as my previous settings videos. I'm going to drop this down to 8 again. Don't know how much of a difference it makes. I want to see if it makes much of a difference in my headset, too. Yeah, I think I'll leave everything the way it is right now. We'll keep testing it. Yeah, just turn down some of this traffic. Don't really need to be generating all these aircraft. I mean, they're not around me right now, so, but they got to be generating someplace, I think, in the game. So there's no real need to. If you figure if the silly thing's generating 10 aircraft at every airport, it's unbelievable. You saw my virtual desktop, and you see how easy it is to get in and out of VR and make changes to the settings. I do love that. So let's fly a little bit now with some of these changes and see how it goes. Just a few more minutes and maybe a couple more changes, or maybe we'll let it go as it is. I mean, it still seems to be fairly smooth. Seems to be traveling pretty smoothly. And yeah, you can see, like I said, the propeller disc is very different than this default propeller, which is made to look almost like it does on a video captured with a camera, where you get that strobe effect and actually can see individual blades. In reality, when a propeller is moving, you don't really see anything. It is pretty. It's fly up this column of light. I mean, that whole flight across the surface of the water seemed to look very smooth to me. Bit of an inverted loop here. Hey, look at that, huh? I hope it looks as good in the video as it does right now on my headset. This is really very, very pretty. Alright, so let's zoom down, and then we're going to the airport, I believe, on the other side. Like I could almost touch my wheels, but I just don't want to risk it. Nose over into the water and end my flight prematurely. But some aircraft will let you do that. They'll let you actually skim the wheels on the surface of the water. Here we go. There's the airport. You're going to see a very, very fast emergency type landing here. Like we're going to do a last minute type landing here. And there she is. Okay. You can see I'm going very fast here to start with, but we're going to slow her down. We're going to use my air brakes, which if you're not careful with will make you drop straight down vertically. But okay, this is going to be a very hard. Hold on, folks. Okay, that is quite as bad as I thought. We don't have a lot of runway here, but we should be able to stop it. If we don't get the air brakes too soon. This is very, very useful. I love this aircraft. This is probably ranked among my top 3 all-time favorite aircraft I've ever flown in this simulator in 40 years of flying in it. I think this ranks like, oops, sorry. Parking brake. Here we go. All right. So let's slow her down here. And then we'll turn off fuel. There we go. And battery, avionics, or avionics battery, I should say, and ignition. And let's look at the sunset. And I think it was a successful flight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the skies.